I always see people online saying shit like how back in the day, back in like World War II and stuff, is when men were really men, but they were all cross dressing. They would put on like plays for each other, and because there were no girls, the guys would dress as girls to play the roles in their play. And acting in a play is already gay as hell, so it was already gay. And then they started dressing as girls, even gayer, or maybe that's straight as hell. And then there's like a kissing scene, and so then it's two soldiers kissing. One of them's in drag. The other soldier probably plays a little prank on him, slips a little tongue in there. I got you, Charles. Oh, I'll get you back. Just you wait till we're at the pond. And they go to the pond, and they're in there, and they're like, "Come on, Charles, don't be a worry wuss. Hop in the pond and play some tug dick. Come on, we're playing tug dick. Don't be scared. It, it's easy. See, you just tug on their dick, and the first one to get their mouth on it wins." If enough people watch this, odds are someone got a little turned on by the thought of a bunch of soldiers playing tug dick in the pond. But that's the type of manly activities that would happen in the army back in the day. Probably still today. I don't know. Maybe it's like the more homophobic people got, it's like they were all homophobic back then, even more intensely, but they were true to their beliefs, so they just were so gay. Cause I don't know, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm also really sick, and it's 5 a.m. and I'm sleep deprived. But this video's for Ava. It's like John F. Kennedy. You ever see the pictures of him with his roommate? Hold up, I'm gonna Google it. John F. Kennedy has pictures with his like lifelong roommate. I think his roommate might have even like lived in the White House. And like here's one picture of them. That one is just like, all right, they're sitting close with their puppy. And then and then there's this one with them. It's like, come on, man. And yeah, he was a playboy too. But I remember seeing like some snippet from a biography that purported that John F. Kennedy just loved getting head. I think he might have been our first bisexual king in the United States. He had a gay lover roommate, and Marilyn Monroe and his wife. Or maybe what I like to think is maybe he just loved getting head so much he didn't care who it was from, and that's when men were really men. And it's always the people who talk about men being men are always fucking the weird ones too. It's always how do I describe an unpleasant woman without sounding misogynist? I'm I picture a woman in my head right now, the type who's like back when men were men. But the thought of even describing them just feels offensive. You can picture the type of lady who says that. And then it's always weird ass dudes too. It's always like Ben Shapiro ass dudes, like the most sniveling little rodent ass dude. Like, this isn't masculine. This is the antithesis of masculinity. He's like 5'4" and just like whining constantly, just like a little. like just describing. Wow, this video 3 minutes in already went from gay soldiers to politics. All right. But soldiers is inherently political. Uh-oh, it's a political rant. Describing, like, the current conservatives to someone who doesn't follow politics is just so hard. I was trying to describe my RFK Jr. to my friend, who's relevant because he's John F. Kennedy's nephew. And I was just like, so he had a brain worm that ate some of his brain and died, I guess because there wasn't enough brain to eat. And he talks like this. And I'm like, and he's like the head of of health kind of in the United States, like trying to explain it to someone who doesn't know politics. Like, he says that circumcisions make boys autistic. That'd be why there's more autistic boys than women, huh? And I'm just like, he's like, oh man, that's crazy. And I'm like, oh yeah. And also he like dumped a dead bear in Central Park, and it was just a mystery why there was a dead bear in Central Park, and it turns out it was him like 30 years ago because he just like found a dead bear on the side of the road and loaded it up in his truck, and then realized he had a flight to catch, and so he just dumped the dead bear in Central Park in New York. And then he's like, what the hell, that's crazy. I'm like, oh yeah. And one time his daughter told a story about how they saw a dead whale on the beach, and he sawed the whale's head off and strapped it to the head of their truck, and the guts were just like raining down everywhere, and they were wearing like garbage bags on their head to stop the guts from landing on them, and all the other cars were honking at them because they had a decapitated dead whale head on the top of their truck, because he's just like obsessed with eating roadkill. I wonder how he got a worm in his brain. And that's who I think we should have preventing autism. Also, back in the day, people, everyone like you know who ran the railroads? I know trains are what autistic people like. It was autistic guys. Earlier this year, when I was in like California. Sorry, I'm too tired. Uh, we went to a train museum. Got to be the worst way to spend your time on a vacation. And one of the guys who worked there were in one of the mail train cars, mail MAIL, not like a boy train car. And this like old mustachio train man who works there comes up and starts describing how the train worked. And for like 5 to 10 minutes, it was interesting. But I think he would genuinely just spend 6 hours in one car if you let him. He just didn't stop. We kept like being like, oh, that's cool. Just like getting further away, and he'd just be like, and ready, step forward, let me show you this. And we're like, oh man, there's a whole museum. There's like 100 trains here. Until eventually my mom was just like, go guys, get the fuck away. Like, get over here. Like, get away from that old mustache train man. He's not gonna let you leave. He doesn't understand social cues. He's into trains. And that's just who used to run the world. That's like every great inventor, all like those, I don't know, every great man from history. You know how they got so fucking obsessed with one thing? You know who gets obsessed with one thing? Not manly men. I guess they can be manly men and also autistic. That's what I'm saying. Great men were all gay and autistic. RFK Jr. needs to learn that. We need more gay autistic men, alright? We need them to be innovating. Also, just describing the political weirdos. It's just, like, imagine if someone had never seen Donald Trump before and just trying to describe him. It would sound fake. You're like, yeah, he's fat and he's always, like, leaning forward just, like, because he has, like, lifts in his shoes. And he's, like, this tall, fat guy. He's a billionaire but has the worst spray tan you've ever seen. He's literally orange. His hair's dyed like light blonde with a terrible comb over. And they're just like, okay, that's just like kind of a freaky old rich guy. And you're like, yeah. And he insists that he's the smartest, strongest 70-year-old man to ever live. And he just talks like no one in history has ever spoken. No one in the world has ever used those words in that order with that cadence. It's just, it would be impossible to describe without like example sentences. Imagine trying to describe the way that he speaks without having like an example sentence. And then they're just like, all right, two weirdos. It's like, no. The all of them, they're just kind of all freaks who failed at what they wanted to do. Like Ben Shapiro, I'm pretty sure his parents were like successful Hollywood screenwriters who pretty much like tried to nepo him, like give him nepotism connections to become a screenwriter. But he's such a terrible fucking writer, he failed with all the connections in the world. If you see his writing, it's just so embarrassing. Is it Ben Shapiro? I kind of get all those little weird, like, Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk dudes mixed up. I know one of them has that story. Or just, like, describe, like Kash Patel, the current leader of the FBI. You're like, every time you see him, he just kind of looks scared. Like he looks like he just saw a demon every time you see him. uh, like like his official fucking portrait. uh, and then you're just like, okay, but is he that bad? And you're like, well, a few years ago, he wrote a bunch of children's books for children where Donald Trump is a king and like the evil liberals are trying to take down the king from his kingdom. That's what he did before becoming head of the FBI. I mean, he did have like a long career during that, but just he managed to find the free time to write some children book fanfic about Donald Trump being the king. And that's who's the head of the FBI. And then like he has like a girlfriend who's potentially like a spy to like it just kind of feels wrong for the head of the FBI to have a girlfriend. It kind of feels like you want the head of the FBI to be like a crusty old dude who's been married for 20 years, whose wife just understands the struggles of an FBI man. Not this weird little like fanfic writing dude with a girlfriend who like might be a spy. I don't know. I haven't read that much about her being a spy, but it seems possible. And then he's just like making long like Instagram posts being like, "No one ever call my girlfriend a spy. That's my girlfriend you're talking about." He's gonna write a fanfic about people trying to take down his girlfriend. And then when Charlie Kirk got assassinated, he's just like, "I'll see you in Valhalla, brother." Like saying Valhalla has got to be the most embarrassing thing ever. If you're like not, if you're literally not Nordic or whatever the hell, saying that you're going to Valhalla is the most embarrassing thing ever. And he said that about it like a super like intensely Catholic dude, while he's like a small Indian guy. I'll see you in Valhalla. And it's because that's what Sigma Manly is, actually. Sigma Manly is like Vikings and shit. It's always like they're always a little racist when they talk about being manly too, cause like a Native American guy, holy shit, that's manly. That's a man right there. But when someone's describing like an ideal manly man, they're not talking about they're talking about Vikings only. Isn't that something? Wow, I got political real quick. This was supposed to be about tugging dick, but I didn't really. Yeah, I'm not editing this video. I can't breathe. I'm tired. I kind of like being tired. I don't. I don't do any substances, so kind of sometimes being sick and tired is like the closest I get to being like crossfaded. I'm a cross between sick and tired right now. It's a Friday night right now. I'm getting loose as fuck. I'm coughing, sneezing, and I haven't slept. It's way past my bedtime. Woo! Oh man, that woo just made the joke not funny. If I was gonna edit this video, I'd edit out that woo. It's so easy for me to like think someone ruined a joke by like dismounting poorly. That woo just ruined it. I overanalyze jokes all the time. When someone makes like a funny joke doing something and they're just like, huh, wouldn't that be dope? It's like it ruined it. For me it ruins it. You gotta have a clean, just sharp dismount, or else the joke is just kinda like it goes from like a firework explosion to like a and that's what I just did. And I'm probably going to do it right now too when I realize I'm running out of something to talk about and I don't know when to end this video. And so everything I do is kind of just a boo. I can never do a all right. I'm going to cut it there. Is there anything else to say? Let's think for a second. Let's think about gay autistic soldiers tugging on each other's wieners. Ooh. I think I might keep thinking about that, actually. I'm going to end the video and think about gay autistic World War One. Oh, you know what? One other thing about the gay autistic World War One soldiers. They join the military at like 16. They commit war crimes. They get back. And then they like learn how to tap dance and make movies. That's like every movie star who's like real sigma manly. Almost all of them are like theater dweebs. They're all like theater kids who just happen to be handsome. Or I just talked about this the other day while I was streaming. Like if you've ever seen Tom Cruise before he got chin implants, that's why he joined Scientology. They paid for his chin implants, and it worked. Before Tom Cruise before jaw implant. He was still a cute little guy, you know. He was still a cute little guy, but he wasn't an action star. And that's what Scientology can do for you. Alright, this picture is just rude, okay? He probably didn't look that bad. I don't know. It's not focusing. That's how much effort I'm putting in. But yeah, pretty much all the movie stars are kind of just like little theater kids, except for there are some kind of like classic old manly man like Hollywood stories where they're just like, I was living in the woods after my dad killed me. My dad killed me and I killed him back, and then I moved into the woods for 30 years. And then I wandered out onto the back lot of Universal Studios and they cast me in a movie. It's been history ever since. If a dude doesn't have that backstory and he's an actor, he's probably a little dweeb in reality. Or just like a dickhead. What you think is a manly man doesn't exist, is basically what I'm saying. You know who's like people... You know who's gonna like pull over to help you change your tire on the side of the road? It's gonna be like a kind of guy who you're a little bit scared of at first. Like a chubby dude with hair, like he's balding but he hasn't accepted it yet, and he should have had braces but he didn't. But he pulls over and he knows how to change a tire because he likes to like resell the tires at the junkyard or something. He sells them to buy Pokemon cards. or it's me. You know, I'm also bald and also a little fat, but I did have braces. So, and I've accepted that I'm bald and I wear a hat. But I'll pull over and help someone change a tire. But most people wouldn't describe me as a manly man. The manly man, he's on his way to get his nails done. That's how you stay manly. Because he's autistic and he's scared of getting dirt under his fingernails. Holy shit, this video sucked. But this video is for Vivian Ava, who kept annoying me that I didn't post a daily video for months because I failed at doing them daily. I'll probably do them daily eventually, or actually probably never. And maybe once I start making videos full time. My goal right now, accept a ton of fucking sponsorships, just like any of them. I'm a sellout. I will gladly sell out for money. I'll sell out for scams, but I won't sell out for morals. Like, I would promote a crypto rug pull easy. If I don't think it'll put me in jail, if it's like you can make $100,000 promoting a crypto rug pull scamming dweebs, it's going to be kind of hard for me to say no. Because it's like, you should know better than to buy a crypto rug pull. But if it's like you can make $100,000 accepting money from APAC, if you can make $1 million supporting genocide, and then I'm gonna be like, damn it, I gotta stay poor. I can't do that. Sometimes I'm like, if I had the clout, would I accept money to promote something terrible like that, and be like, I can use that money for more good than bad. Like, if I accept $1 million from Israel and then give it to a charity for Palestine, is that a net positive? But I think the safer answer is to just say no and do a crypto rug pull instead, and then donate the crypto rug pull money. That's like, just like yesterday, Mr. Beast announced that he's making a Mr. Beast theme park in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Which is just, I've always hated that little fucking rat weirdo Mr. Beast. But it's just so funny because he's always like randomly doing charity. Like, I still think the charities that he does are probably good. And he like pivoted. His chocolate sucks so much that he had to be like, wait, but it's made without slaves. Which, yes, that's dope as fuck that's made without slaves. It's still gross as hell. But he pretends to care about human rights, and then he makes a theme park in Saudi Arabia. Just imagine the kids who have no idea. They don't even know that like countries exist yet. They don't like understand borders on a map. And they see Mr. Beast saying like, I want to go to Beast World. And then the parents look it up and they're like, Saudi Arabia? Who the fuck are you watching on YouTube? By the way, it is, I eat chocolate because obviously I'm a fat fuck. But I get sad like whenever I'm eating chocolate and I think about how it's like almost all made with slaves. Imagine if we just didn't use slaves and chocolate was a bougie product. People would love chocolate more. If chocolate was expensive, people would be like, "Oh, it's such a treat. It's an indulgence." Instead, they make it with slaves so that it can suck and be cheap. I want all chocolate bars to cost $10 and be a rare, delightful treat and be made ethically. Like, it just makes sense. If you want a chocolate bar that's not made with slaves, I rep it all the time. Tony's Chocolonely. It's like the best chocolate bar I've ever eaten, if I gotta be honest. I had it before I even knew the backstory. I kind of didn't really know that all chocolate was made by slaves until I had a Tony's Chocolonely candy bar, and they made me read up on it, and I was like, damn. And it's like the best chocolate I've ever had is a Tony's Chocolonely. So this video is sponsored by Tony's Chocolonely. Sorry I'm sick and this sucks. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.